Are you looking to travel the world for free using nothing but credit card points?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, today on the Fi Guys, part 2 of how to do it, we're going to go all into that for Fi Friday feedback. We're going to recap earlier episode, which was a second parter towards the ultimate guide towards travel rewards hacking. And then we're going to get into viewer mailbag and then some win of the weeks.
Yep.
So I say we jump right into it with the second part of the ultimate way to travel hack.
Absolutely. Yeah. Welcome back, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the first episode of the travel hacking guide and the recaps on the Fi Friday, as always. It's going to be a good one.
It's going to be a good one. So we're going to be recapping what we talked about on Monday, which is weird to say, but it was a second parter to the first parter of the travel rewards.
Don't get confused, guys. We're just going to get right into the information.
Yep. Yeah. So what we started off on Monday was talking about how to redeem your points that you earn with credit cards and how we're able to use that to actually travel the world for free.
Definitely.
Because in our first podcast, it was all about how do we choose a credit card. Once we get the card, how do we get the points? All that stuff. And now at this point, you should be sitting there like, Chris, I got my credit card, I got my points.
Now we got to use them.
What do I do?
What do I do? Yeah.
How do I make this work?
You worked so hard to get these points. You studied. You picked the right card. You got your your bonus. You hit your spending things, all that fun stuff. And now it's like, well, I got points.
Yep.
I need a plaque of some sort.
Yeah.
Just showcase my points.
Where's my award?
Where's my award? Yes. No. We prefer to use those points.
I prefer to use it as a point. So I think it's very important that we start to look for ways to redeem the points immediately. And there is an easy way and more of a difficult way. And of course, the easier way doesn't get you as much value, but it's still easy. So you have that there. And then there's the more difficult way that can get you outsized value where you're really taking your points to the next level. So
do you want to talk about that?
No, we'll talk about the first two. So
let's go.
The first way, once you get your points, say you get them through inside the Chase portal, in the American Express portal, in the Capital One portal, you can actually book your travel directly through those portals. Typically, when you book directly through those portals, each point is either worth $1 each point is either worth usually 1 cent per point.
We wish it was $1.
I wish it was $1.
That would be crazy.
Can you imagine they get 60,000 points? Like, I have $60,000.
I got 60 bands. Yeah. This is great. Yeah.
So typically it's either worth 1 cent per dollar. So 60,000 would be worth 600 or 1.5 cents when you book through the portal.
Okay.
So 60,000 could be worth 900, 1,000 ish.
Yeah. Gotcha.
But so that's the easy way to do it. You just go through the portal, say like, I want to go to Washington, DC. Look for Washington, DC, see how much the points are worth. I have that many points. Bang. Please apply towards it. Bing, bang, boom. You get an itinerary saying, here's your stuff.
Yeah.
The better way of doing it is to look at the travel companions that you would actually transfer your points out of Capital One, out of Chase, out of American Express, and send them there. For example, say like I want to go on a really long flight to Maine from the West Coast.
Yeah.
And if I was to book online through Chase, I can go on United Airlines for 60,000 points. But if I go to United Airlines, the website, and I look to see like how much does it cost for United Airlines? Well, United Airlines only costs 50,000 points. Well, now I just saved myself basically like 20% or 18% by sending money from Chase directly to United. Or even better, I can go to Southwest Airlines, see how much Southwest Airlines is. That might be 30,000 points. And I can transfer the points from Chase to Southwest. And now I just saved myself half the amount of points by going from a different airline carrier that it wouldn't have been able to do while doing it through the portal.
So you're saying, okay, I see what you're saying. So you're saying like sometimes, not every time, but sometimes it's better to transfer your points from, say I have a Chase card, transfer those into a Southwest or a Delta or a partner that they're affiliated with.
Yep.
And you'd get a better value transferring your points over rather than the other way of just like using your points. What was the other way?
Just booking through the portal. Through their portal.
Okay, gotcha.
The reason you want to think about it this way is American Express, Delta, United, every single hotel and airline brand, they want to be loyal to their members, and how their members accrue points in their ecosystem is by spending money with them. But Delta, United, Marriott, all of them, they don't know how your points got there. They assume that you purchased it that you earn the points in their ecosystem by spending money. So they're always going to give people that spend money with them the better deals because they want to reward your loyalty, keep on bringing you back. So do you want to book through Chase? And then they're going to give you the rewards of like someone who's like, oh, you have a Chase credit card. It's like,
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
You're one of the people.
Yeah, you're one of the people. Here's the rate. Or do you want to be like, hey, I fly with you all the time, Southwest. What do I get? They're going to reward you, of course, much better. But you don't have to go and spend all your money with Southwest. You can just transfer the points in there and have that exact same bonus of the people that fly with them all the time and are earning points in their ecosystem.
Yeah, we love points. We live for points.
We live for points.
We do.
There is no point of life but the points.
Clip it, put it on a t-shirt. Yep. Okay, so we talked a little bit about how to book them. One of the best practices.
Best practices are to look at all that. I do also want to make it clear that there are other credit cards that are just that aren't just going to give you access to the portal. So you can go to Chase, you can get like the Chase Marriott card, which only gets you points in Marriott. And now you can't transfer those points because they're only with Marriott. There's a Chase Southwest card that only gets you points at Southwest. You can't transfer those points. They're in the Southwest ecosystem. It just is there.
Gotcha.
So you have to be very cautious on those things.
And we also talked about, I don't know if it was Monday or the podcast before, but once you transfer points into Marriott or Southwest, you can't transfer them back out.
Yes.
It's not like, oh, I get 2x points or a points and a half over here, and then I'm going to pull it back.
Nope.
And now I double my points. I'm just going to rinse and repeat. It's like, no, that's not how that works.
Yep.
Can't do that.
So I'm all very big on not hoarding points. Don't stick on your points. But if you have points that are in American Express, in Capital One, at Chase, where they're in the ultimate, or Chase is called Ultimate Rewards Portal, so because you can redeem them so many different places. But American Express and Capital One are the same thing. Keep them in that ecosystem. Keep them there until you are ready to transfer them. Like when you're ready to book at that moment.
Yeah. No preemptive transfers.
Yeah, no preemptive transfers unless there's some sort of a deal where like, hey, if you transfer it, rather than it being a 1-to-1 transfer ratio, it'll be a 1-to-1.5, 1-to-2, 1 to whatever.
Yeah.
But that might be worth doing before you're ready to book because those deals don't come around as often.
Ooh, God, I would love a 2x.
No, yeah.
That'd be sweet.
I've done it once.
You've done it once. It's
with
possible.
2x. It is possible.
You think you'll ever see a 3x in your life?
No.
What about like 2.5?
Maybe.
Maybe.
But I look all the time, but I haven't seen them.
Okay.
And then it's also very important that we're always remaining flexible when we're redeeming reward travel. I think so many people, they think like, oh, well, when I buy tickets, it's very, very easy. I'm just going in there and I'm buying things. That's why with travel rewards, we want to stick in this happy medium of either booking last minute, because that's when rewards are down at their lowest. We can really get in really quickly and have our points really maximized, or we want to book a long-term in advance.
Yeah.
Long-term advance basically being like a year in advance or as soon as the flights and the hotels are available to even start booking.
Absolutely.
Because that's where we want to stick for the rewards. Typically, if you're trying to stick in the 3 to 6 months, you're going to definitely be able to find flights, find hotels, find what you need to find, but they're not going to be at the best value.
I see. Interesting. Yeah, we're all about value.
We're all about value.
We're all about the value. Stretching the dollar as much as you can in today's economy.
If you're working so hard to get all these points, like why get all these points and only go on one trip? When if you really think about this and maximize it, you can get these points and go on 2 trips with them. That's double the memories.
Yeah, exactly. It's like if you allocated, say, $5,000 or $10,000 for trips this year, it's like, well, why? You could go on one big trip, or it's like, oh, on this trip, I'm going to take the flights on points. On this one, I'll do, I don't mean to get flipped off the camera, but on this one, we'll do the hotel. And on this one, we'll do, the car or whatever. It's like, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, so there's definitely ways to look at this. So that's just redeeming the points. And it's really not as difficult as people think it is. I think so many people are like, this is going to be really complex. It's going to be really difficult. And it can get complex if you want to start doing the transfer partners, you want to do all those things. But if you're just getting started, this is your first travel rewards card. You got a Chase, you got an American Express, you got a Capital One. Ideally, that's kind of where you started, is in one of those ecosystems. Book through the portal. Just try it once and make sure that it's accessible for you, that it's something that you can figure out. And I promise you can. Go on that trip, have an amazing time. And then when you get back, start figuring out, okay, this is something that I like doing. Let's do it again. How can I up this game, get a little bit better? 1% better every time.
Yes, sir.
We're not going from Dominic and his first travel credit card to being like me with like 18 travel credit cards.
Exactly. That's not how it works.
It's too much.
It's too much. Yeah. Baby steps.
Baby steps.
Yeah.
Same with travel rewards hacking, same with your finances, same with fitness. Like there's so many different ways that this all makes sense. Just think about it that way.
Yeah, 100%.
Compound interest, right?
Compound interest.
Getting better.
Getting better. And that's what I love. So we love compound interest of life. We're getting better every day. Every day.
And then in segment 2, we moved on to staying updated on offers and promotions. I talked a lot about one of the websites I use called travelfreely.com.
Travelfreely.com.
I pay for that though, so you don't have to pay for it if you don't want to.
Gotcha.
Anything that I find on there, I do bring to the Fi Guys community. So please be sure to subscribe, hit that like button, all that stuff to be a part of that, because we're always going to bring that to you as things come along. But other than that, you can always go on to forums. And then once you have the travel cards, so say you have one with Chase, with Capital One, with American Express, you're able to actually to go into there and look all the time inside of their portal to see what kind of deals they're offering right now.
Absolutely.
And if you're like me and you have credit cards all over the place, I'm not going to sit there and go through every single one. So that's why I have my aggregators that I pay for to do it all for me.
Yeah.
Because I don't have the time.
That makes it so much more simple. It would suck to go through each one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very time consuming.
It's very time consuming, but I mean, sometimes when you have those limited time rewards, like it would, had I missed them and been like, oh, it would have been worth having that. That's why I pay for someone to do it for me.
Yeah, because you're not staring at the computer all day.
Nope, I'm not. I'm not just sitting there like I
Refreshing the computer.
Life is meant to be lived, not to be waiting to watch your points, and that's really important when we're booking as well. That once you find a deal that you're like, this is my deal, I'm going to go with it. Just book your points, move on with your life, start working for the next travel. Too often do I see people just getting stuck in the muck of like, I think this is a good deal, but I know there's a better deal if I search for 30 more hours and I can find that better deal. But they forget to think like, well, that 30 hours of searching, is that really worth your time? Like,
No.
It's definitely not.
I hope not.
Just get good enough. It doesn't need to be perfect. It can just be good enough. Good enough is the time for you to go and travel, make memory dividends with your friends and family. You don't need to try to maximize your points to the nth degree every single time.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. We're not shooting for perfection.
Nope.
Never.
We're shooting in the right direction.
Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah. That's a quote of the day right there.
We're shooting in the right direction.
Yes, sir.
That's what we want to do. The same with all things in life, especially with finance, right? And fitness. I think those two are so perfectly synonymous in being able to work things out. When you go to the gym, do you need to have this perfectly made out routine of like, I need to do these things. I need to do 12 sets of
can't miss a single muscle.
Can't miss a single muscle. Like when I do my bicep, I need to turn my wrist at this exact angle in order to get that perfect.
Keep your wrist straight.
Or whatever it is. Or can it just be, I just need to go to the gym. I need to do a workout. I need to move my body. I need to do well. Yeah. Same with finances. Do I need to have all these plans? No. I just need to know that I'm spending less money than I'm making and I'm investing the difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's it. That's simple. Super simple. Yeah. Let's get on to the next one.
Segment 3, we talked all about accessing business credit cards.
That was kind of a hack of hacks.
That is a hack of hacks.
Yeah.
So remember, when you're doing it just as your personal self, there are only so many credit cards you have access to as an individual.
Because you can't have the same credit card twice.
Nope, you can't have the same.
You can't hold it at the same time twice.
Nope, you can't get the bonuses twice. And remember Chase's 524 rule, you can only have the card, you only have 5 cards through Chase within 24 months. And it's 5 credit cards in general in 24 months.
Yeah.
So that can mean you can have 5 credit cards all between Capital One and American Express, and you've never had a Chase card. When you go to apply for that Chase card, they're going to automatically deny you because you've already had 5 cards in the last 24 months, which is 2 years.
But if you had a card that was longer than 24 months, you had I have credit cards that are 10 years old. Mm-hmm. Those don't count.
Nope, those are
because I haven't opened them in the last 24 months.
Yep, it's a rolling calendar.
Yep.
So what you're able to access, so you only have so many cards when you're doing it personally. But here's the hack. You can actually get business credit cards as well. Really? I don't know what you might be thinking, but Chris, I don't own a business. I'm not Jeff Bezos. I'm not Elon Musk. I don't make $1 million a year running some successful company.
Exactly. Like, do I need a brick and mortar store for this? Or like, what's the deal?
Yeah, I don't have to take a lease out.
Yeah. What are you selling me, Chris? Get out of here.
Yeah. So
you don't need all that.
You don't need all that because credit card companies, Chase, American Express, Capital One, they are not the IRS.
No, thankfully.
Yep, thankfully. So you can actually apply for a business credit card using a sole proprietorship and your own social security number. You have a social security number, you wouldn't even, you'd probably be listening to this podcast, but you wouldn't have applied for a normal credit card if you have a social security number.
You do need a social security number.
You do need that.
For our American audience.
For American audience, you need that. And then for our other audience, I'm sure you have some sort of system in our country.
Yeah.
But here in America, I know that you can apply for a business credit card without actually having a business. And business is very, very loosely defined. So can you drive an Uber? Mm-hmm. Can you do some DoorDash? Can you pick up poop? Like
Yeah.
you watch someone's dog.
A service-based or even product-based.
Yep. Can you sell something on Facebook, Etsy, whatever it is? That is a viable business. Even if you're not making money right now, you don't need to have 10 or 12 years of financial statements that you're trying to give to people.
Every like penny spent on the business, like you don't need that.
You don't need that. You don't need an LLC. You don't need anything. All you need to do is just say, this is what I project to make in the next year. And if you're off, you're off. But
Again, they're not the IRS. They're not going to be like, 1 year like, so you made 1,000 this year? You made 10,000 this year? You made 20,000? Let's see it. I want to see it. It's like, I don't know. I don't have it. I mean, business wasn't as good.
yeah, business didn't do well.
Nobody bought my lemonade at the lemonade stand.
It could be a lemonade stand, honestly.
It could be a lemonade stand.
But shoot, you could even start a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And you could do a podcast, do whatever you want. There's so much fun to do. You can do all of these types of things and then apply for a business credit card and often get approved. Given that your social security number, because remember, they're going to pull off of your personal social security number, not your business's, because technically you don't have your business yet.
Yeah.
Like when I apply for cards, they pull my business's EIN number.
Yeah.
But because my business is established.
And the EIN is the employer identification number.
Yeah, it's the same as social security number.
Yeah.
They apply, they do that. But if you're starting out, you don't have a quote unquote business quite yet, you can still apply and just use your personal social security number, given that you have a credit score that's good enough to get access to these cards, which hopefully we do already. And if not, go and listen to episode 26 or 29, all about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that really, we also talked about 2-player mode, but really having a business credit card or a business is almost like playing 2-player mode in solo.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah,
if
because
you
you
think
now
about
have
it.
access to two sets of cards.
Yeah, you can get the same card twice, basically.
You can. It's going to access more. Just so you know, with business credit cards, typical the minimum spend is about 3 times as much as is personal cards.
Okay.
So it is a little bit more difficult to hit on those ones. But yeah, you're exactly right. Now that if we do have business, now we can play this on 2-player mode. We can have 2 of the same cards, but there's even a step further we can take.
Oh.
Where we can actually play it in 2-player mode. So for me and my wife, we're partners. We live in the same household. What we do is we both use travel credit cards. We both have them personally.
Okay.
And we both have them professionally as businesses.
Okay.
And my wife doesn't actually own a business. She's an employer, W-2 employee. But we have friends that we watch their cats and our friends watch our dogs. We pay each other each for that. There's my wife's business.
Yeah,
we
your
are
side hustle.
Professional
Dog
and cat watchers.
hotel dog somethings. I don't know. There's something there.
Pet care.
Pet care?
Pet housing care?
Yeah, there's something there. Supervisors of pets at the Monzon house.
Yep, that's what we do.
There you go.
So that's what we do. That's where my wife got her business and got to be able to do business credit cards. But that's 2-player mode, where both my wife and I are both applying for credit cards simultaneously and getting many points. What we typically like to do is we'll have credit cards in different ecosystems at different times. So I'll have like a bunch of American Express and Capital One and show us some Chase, and then we switch them so that as her cards end on the points, then I can get other cards. Or sometimes we'll all do them inside the same. It really depends. Like that's going to get really into the minutia.
And then quick question, how do you track all of that? Like I know you probably do like an Excel or a Google Doc. Is there an app that people can use that maybe is made for not house hacking, credit card hacking?
There is an app. It's called Max Rewards, and there's a few other ones. I like Max Rewards. That's what I used for a while, but it became so difficult with me and my wife since we both had our own cards. We couldn't put them together.
Couldn't pull
in
them.
one app.
Yeah.
So I have a Google spreadsheet.
Giant spreadsheet.
You know me.
Yeah.
Spreadsheets.
Yeah.
And it tells me everything we need to do. But one thing I like about Max Rewards that I still think is worth it if you upgrade to the higher tier one, it'll actually tell you which credit cards to use in which situations.
Oh,
because remember that when we're applying for the credit card, the biggest thing we're looking for is the intro offer. Like how do we earn the points really quickly? But after the intro offer, we're still going to continue to use the card to do our normal
build
spend.
Points, yeah.
Builds just to live life.
Just to live life, yeah.
But if we're if we're using our card strategically, if I have a card that gets me 4 times points when I go to the grocery store, it makes sense when I go and buy my normal food that I use that credit card, not a different credit card.
Yeah,
but sometimes if you have 17 cards, it gets confusing to remember which card was that gave me the points when I go to the grocery store. So Max Rewards has a premium version that you're able to say like, hey, I'm going grocery shopping. Which credit card should I use? And it'll tell you based off the cards you have, this is the best card to redeem that value.
Absolutely. I like that. It keeps it simple, and we love simple.
Simplicity is the key.
It's the key. Yeah,
Complexity is the enemy of progress.
Yes, and progress is what we want.
Progress is how we start.
Yes. So we talked a little bit about the 2-player mode. We talked a little bit about the business credit cards, the promotions, the redeeming. What else did we talk about?
The next thing we talked about, I mean, after we've told you guys how to get into the credit card hacking game, you know, how to bring more people in, how to even get more credit cards, is there a time, or how do we exit? I have all these credit cards now. I have 17 credit cards, Chris, and I don't know what to do with them. I'm just paying all these annual fees. They're not bringing me any value anymore. Is this just my life? Yeah. Thankfully, it's not. You can always cancel a credit card at any time.
Or downgrade it.
Or downgrade a card, yes.
But I mean, then you still have the card.
You still have the card, so that's okay. Yeah. But there's always options here. My recommendation, if we apply for a card, we never want to cancel the card unless we've had it open for at least a year. Too many people, they're afraid of hitting that annual fee renewal where they have to pay the fee again. So they'll try to cancel the card at like 11 months, 10 months.
Yeah.
But if they do that, if you read the terms and conditions, most credit card companies say, if you cancel before a year, we can retroactively take away all of your points. And if you use your points, we will make you pay for them. So you need to keep the credit card open for at least a year. The good news is, after you get that fee hit, every single credit card company that I know of gives you 30 to 45 days to cancel that credit card and get a full refund of your fee back. So that's what you need to do. You need to wait.
Or negotiate it. That's one thing that you love to do. And you do it with every card you have, don't you? Roughly.
There are some cards that
it's not even.
Yeah, like my Capital One Venture X, like I get $300 and 10,000 points. Like,
it's like, what are you
It's paying me $5. Like, what am I going to do? Like, say, no, I want more.
Double it. Give it to the next person.
Double it. But there are certainly cards that I call on every year to say, hey, are you willing to give me a retention offer?
Yeah.
And that's what I want to talk about next is,
perfect.
Once we found out that a card isn't bringing us value, and only you can decide what is valuable to you, every credit card is going to give you the retention offer. But then every credit card is also going to give you additional things that they benefit you with. Maybe that's access to airport lounges. Maybe it'll give you access to Hulu or something for free. Give you DoorDash credits or whatever it is. And you need to look at those, each one of those, and say, are these things bringing value to my life? Are they actually saving me money? So like maybe with going to the Centurion Lounge, I know every time I go into the Centurion Lounge, I'm probably saving myself about $30 to $50 from eating at the airport.
Yeah. And everybody knows that when you go to the airport, you want to eat too. You just
get hungry the moment
you get hungry because like you get on the flight, you're like, bro, I like peanuts, I like pretzels, but it's like I want food. I need the most optimal experience is to be in a food coma while you're on the plane. That's my hot take.
I'll tell you, me and my wife are weird. So we get to the airport like an hour. So we have TSA pre-check and TSA and clear. So like we zip through every single airport.
Yeah. So like, explain how fast do you get to the lounge from like when you park your car?
Well, it depends. If it's Sky Harbor, if it's Phoenix Airport, I drop my wife off. She checks the bag and then she'll go there. She's usually in the Centurion Lounge within 10 minutes of me dropping her off.
That's so good.
I have to park my car, obviously, take the Sky train over.
You do that way? Oh, interesting.
And then I go through security, and then it probably takes me 20 minutes because I have to park the car and do the Sky train.
You don't park, I'm sorry, this is very niche, but you don't park like right at the airport?
I do.
No, but like, because you can park at the...
Oh, in the terminal itself?
Is the terminal? Yeah,
So
that's where I park.
You can, but if you want to stay in terminals, the West Economy lot, parts A and B, the covered spot, it's half the price. Oh. And all you have to do is take the Sky train. It's so easy, and it's half the price.
I want to take. every time I see the Sky train, I'm like, man, I wish it was all that.
Because you can park in like terminal. So like Bora Bora. If I was to park in Terminal 4 itself, it would have cost me $260 for the week and a half that we're there for the weekend day. Yeah. But parking in the other one, it was $116.
Oh, okay.
So it's half the price to do it.
Oh, crap! I should just do that.
It's literally like you.
Plus, you get to ride the train.
Yeah, you get to ride the train. Everyone loves a train.
I love trains. I want a train.
Yeah, my goal always, whenever I do it, is to not hold into the bars.
Oh,
and skate it.
I got you.
Yeah, so it's
I got you. You always see the people where it's like they don't expect it, and then it starts and like. Ooh.
The Denver one's pretty funny. The Denver one used to be, as it was stopping, it wouldn't tell you, and then it would like come to a complete stop and be like, "Hold on to the bar, we're stopping." After like everyone had already gotten like thrown halfway across the thing.
Denver and their devil airport, of course.
And the devil blue horse.
Yeah, scary things, but yeah, I mean, getting back to what we're talking about.
I don't know what we're talking about.
I don't know. None of what we talked about should ever be used if you're not responsible with credit cards.
No, definitely not. I mean, that is the most important part. If we're the person that says like, hey, Dom, I'm giving you $10,000 in credit. Like, do with it that you will. And your first thought is, how can I spend $10,000 as quickly as possible because they're going to want it back? Like, that isn't it. You still have to spend money that you already have. Don't spend money. Don't put yourself into a bad situation for points. No amount of points is worth the interest that it incurs, because these travel credit cards have interest rates of usually 25 to 30%.
Yeah.
Huge amounts of money.
Huge. Yeah.
1.5 or 1 or even 2 cents per point is not worth 25 to 30%.
No, it's never worth it. It's never worth it. Yeah, like the credit card hacking podcasts, these are for the high level. These are for a little upper level stuff. Not to say you can't get a travel credit card and start on your journey and at least start banking points or whatnot, but it all starts with fiscal responsibility.
It really does.
Yeah. With everything we talk about.
We
should probably start the pod with that, but yeah, no, 100%.
Oh, one thing I want to bring back for canceling the credit cards. Before you cancel the credit cards, you can always, as Dom said, downgrade the cards. So see if there's a free version of that credit card that'll retain your credit history and your credit utilization, or how much credit limit you have. The other thing you can do before you cancel is call and negotiate with one of the service attendants or whatever they're called. Or you can even do it through the live chat feature. Let them know, hey, my annual fee just redeemed. I don't think I'm going to keep this card because it's just too much money based off the value I'm getting for that. Do you guys have any redemption offers? I always like to say, wait till after they charge you for that fee, then do it before. Don't do it before they charge you, because after they've already had that money hit their ledger, they don't want to lose that money. They don't want to refund it to you.
Gotcha.
It's always harder to lose something than to not have had it.
Okay.
So wait till after they hit the fee. Then call them, say, I want to cancel this unless you guys have a redemption offer. Hear what the redemption offer is. Maybe they're not going to play that game. Maybe they're going to say, we have no redemption offer. They go ahead and cancel the card if you don't want that card anymore.
And you get your money back.
Okay. No harm, no foul. But oftentimes, from my experience, credit card companies want you to keep the card, and they will offer you something of worth to you, whether that either be wiping out the annual fee entirely for a year, or wiping it off by half, or by giving you a certain amount of points to keep the card open for another year.
Interesting. And another point on the downgrading of the card, you keep your credit history, very important for your credit score. You keep your credit limit usually, right? But the reason you're downgrading is you're losing the benefits of it. But you're also losing the higher
annual fee.
Annual fee, thank you. Yeah. So just to keep it simple.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, of course.
But then the potential risks and pitfalls are really on you. It's you screwing up. It's you using your credit cards wildly or not. Wildly. Really, it's really on you. The other thing that could be a detriment is if you are the person who wants to just retain all of your points. I just really want to see $1 million in my points for whatever reason.
Yeah.
That's going to be a detriment to you, because policies of credit card companies are always changing. And unfortunately, they're never changing for the better. They're never giving you more points, more redemption for holding on to their points, for being loyal to them. They're always taking it away. So once you have your points that you need to go to book your travel, my recommendation is book it as quickly as possible. If you're saving points for a specific thing, like I really want to go on this big trip and I need this many points, obviously save those points there. But the moment you have the points that you need, get it done, book that travel and be done with it.
Absolutely. It's nice to have something on the calendar. It's so nice. That's something I got to do. That's something I want to work on for this year, is to get something big on the calendar. Actually, I do have something coming up in like 3 months, but past that.
Yeah, well, I know, but that's like a moving a friend.
I'm still excited to go to Texas.
Yeah. Well, I'm here to help you out with that kind of stuff
thank you.
To get you through it.
I appreciate it.
And then remember, action step for the week. Last week's action step from the first podcast on credit card hacking was look into credit card hacking, make sure it's something that's viable for you. Hopefully you've done that, and hopefully you've determined that it is something that's viable for you and something to do. The next thing we need to do is identify the right credit card and apply.
Bingo.
And get started today on a credit card. My recommendation is find a card with a lower annual fee, maybe sub $100. So in case you hate credit card hacking, at least you're only out $100. Don't go for like an Amex Platinum where you're spending $700 off the beginning.
You
Start small.
Yeah, you definitely shouldn't go for the big heavy hitter. You should baby steps. Baby steps for sure. And my favorite place to look for credit cards is NerdWallet. You have a site?
Yeah, thepointsguy.com.
There you go. Just quick, wrap it for a quick time. But that's pretty much our recap of Monday's pod.
Yep.
Yeah. With that being said, it is now 5 Friday feedback, viewer mailbag. It's that time of the week.
It's
my favorite time of the week. Viewer mailbag time.
Viewer mailbag.
Yep. Is buying a home even worth it?
I don't know.
Is it even worth it these days, bro? That's what we got for today's viewer mailbag. We got a letter from our dear viewer, doesn't say their name, but that's okay. I'm going to read it out. We're going to talk about it, give him a little bit of helpful feedback. Mm-hmm. We'll see where we are. Howdy, Chris and Dom. Howdy. I hope you can help me. I've been grappling with a pretty large decision lately, and I find myself in need of some perspective.
Okay.
It concerns the pressure my wife and I are feeling to buy a home, both from external sources and family alike, and on a personal level as well. Allow me to provide a bit of context. We are a couple in our mid-30s residing in a very high cost of living area. Our combined gross income stands at $255,000, translating to a net monthly income of about $13,000 after accounting for taxes, 401k contributions, health insurance, those things.
All the good stuff.
Yes, sir. Our current monthly expenses include rent, utilities, food, and other necessities. However, that hover around $6,500.
Okay.
So that's about half.
Yeah.
It's a good cushion.
Yeah.
However, with the recent addition of our first child,
Congratulations.
That's awesome. We anticipate healthcare expenses or childcare expenses to reach a minimum of $3,000 a month. This will bring our total monthly expenses to approximately $9,500 to $10,000 later this year. Okay. And that number can fluctuate so hard.
Yeah, but that's the nice thing about seasons of life, right? But this person already had a 50% savings rate. So when they bring in this new kid, which I don't know if $3,000 a month is going to be accurate. That sounds like a lot to me.
You think childcare is so much?
Oh, well, yeah, that's true, huh? That's what they mean by childcare expenses. Okay. Yeah, no, that's probably right then.
Yeah, because like the daycares, I've seen some crazy stories where they're like $1,500, $2,000. It's like, and if they're in a high cost of living.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Childcare, I didn't think about that. But no, but thank goodness that they were already living on less means, because now they're going to be able to actually absorb that cost without, imagine they're making $13,000, already spending $13,000, and now they need to come up with another $3,000.
That's when you start digging yourself in a hole.
Yep, that's what I love about our audience. So we have such a wide, diverse audience. We have some people like these people who are really already on the path to financial independence asking for help. We've also had people who are definitely not on the path or like trying to get on the path.
Yep.
So that's the audience we reach is amazing.
We love them. We love them very much. Financially, we are in a stable position. We have no outstanding debts. Awesome. Around $200,000 in retirement and investments, and a robust emergency fund that covers up to a year and a half of living expenses. Additionally, we have diligently saved $400,000 for a down payment on a home. Down payment, that's a whole home in some places. However, the real estate landscape in our area is daunting, with the median home price standing at $1.4 million.
Holy shit.
Considering our financial situation, we believe that we could reasonably afford a home priced at $1.1 million. This, however, would only secure us a residency of approximately 1,200 square feet, marginally larger than our current rental.
Whoa. $1.1 million for 1,200 square feet?
What's the dollar per square foot on that? That's crazy.
Jesus Christ.
That's expensive.
Where do these people live?
Dude. Even $400,000 for a down payment is crazy to me.
It's got to be LA, SF, or New York.
Yeah, it's definitely. I don't know. I just don't feel like it's New York.
Probably,
I don't know why. I just feel like it's a California story.
I don't know, because you probably wouldn't be saying house. You'd be saying like an apartment.
Yeah, that's my thought.
Like a condo. Okay,
yeah,
it's probably LA. Yeah.
My high rise. Okay. Okay, so let me catch up where we're at. Let's see. So,
here.
Yeah, right there. Just that marginally larger than our current rental. That scares me. Here lies our dilemma. We question the financial wisdom of taking on a $600,000 mortgage, especially when it comes to add an extra $2,400 to our monthly expenses. The prospect of purchasing a home simply for the sake of ownership becomes even more disheartening when you consider the subpar quality of homes in our price range. I know. We find ourselves at a crossroads. Should we press forward with home ownership, or does it make sense to continue renting and invest the available cash elsewhere? The opinions of those close to us, combined with the societal expectations, have only amplified the pressure to buy a home. However, as we inch closer to making this significant decision, The allure of homeownership seems to fade in the face of financial pragmatism. We are torn between the desire for our own home and the rationalization that our hard-earned money would be invested more strategically. I would appreciate any insights or advice you may have, and if you've navigated a similar situation or have any valuable perspectives to share, your input would be invaluable as my wife and I navigate this critical junction in our financial journey. Thank you for taking the time to read this letter. I hope it gets chosen for the podcast. It did. From navigating the financial tide to buying a home or let the savings ride, in a pricey city where dreams get bold, I seek your guidance to help my story unfold.
Wow.
Love the rhyme.
Okay. Well, first off, I'm just going to say you're in California. So
100%. Yeah.
Hello, future other Californian.
Hello.
Also from California originally.
Yes.
Okay. So is this house even worth it?
So much to unpack there.
So much to unpack there. First off, okay.
Congratulations on this kid.
Congratulations on having your first baby. Or congratulations on that. You are well on your path to financial independence. And the fact that you're even thinking this over, it just speaks a testament to like how well you're thinking this through. Because most people are like, can we afford it? Get it.
Send it.
So we'll do it live. Let's
put
make
it on
happen.
credit cards.
Yeah, put it on credit cards.
We're travel hacking now.
We're going to travel hack this house. Oh boy. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to think is, my biggest concern is, where are you getting these cultural beliefs that we must buy a house, and that renting is quote unquote like a bad investment? Mm-hmm. I know you didn't say that per se. You never said that renting is not a good choice. It sounds like you're definitely wrestling with it, but it sounds like your family, your friends, people that really don't know your situation and may not be in your situation are telling you to buy a house because it's a good investment. But that might be a good investment for them. Maybe if you're in, I don't know, freaking Alabama or Maine or some other part of the country, buying a house makes sense. But if you are in California, right now buying a house does not make sense. I'm assuming you're in California just based off the
Yeah, we'll assume that.
I was going to assume. It just does not make sense. So for people that don't know your situation, to weigh in on your situation, tell you must buy a house because it's a good investment, they don't know everything.
Yeah. They don't know the details like you know the details.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you've been very thoughtful in your entire life at how you've gone through this. I mean, just look, you're already at like a 50% saving rate before you have a baby.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's huge.
That's huge. So you've set yourself up. You have $600,000 of net worth right now. Yeah. With $200,000 in retirement, you're pretty much a coast fi.
Yeah.
If you take all that money, put it into the market, when you reach retirement age, you're done. Like probably even sooner.
Yep.
So great job.
Awesome job.
But I want you to question that. Why do we really need to buy a home? So many people think that home ownership is the only way to accrue money or to live the American dream. And maybe that was true at one time, but I don't think that's true anymore. And my guess is it's your family. It's probably your parents telling you the only way to buy a good or to make money in this world is to buy a house. And they're only telling you what worked for them.
Yeah.
So many people, especially our parents and our grandparents, they were able to walk into any neighborhood, see a house, put down 3 raspberries and a nickel, and now they have that house. And then over the last 20 to 60 years, that house has appreciated
to like $1 million
exponentially.
Yeah.
And now they think that they're a freaking real estate mogul who's a genius when all they did was purchase the house to live in.
Yeah.
That situation for us is just not feasible anymore. You just said that you're looking at a house that is worth $1.1 million for 1,200 square feet. Houses nowadays are not made 1,200 square feet, meaning that this is an older house.
Definitely.
So you're going to spend $1.1 million to get this house. And then you have to do closing costs, insurance, all this BS.
Fix it up.
And then, And then we have to spend all this money to fix it up.
Yeah.
And we're having a baby. And we're going to have to do all this with a baby.
Yeah. Home renovations with a child suck.
Home renovations in general suck.
Fair. That's fair. Yeah, no, that's a great point. Mm-hmm. Homes are not built that small these days.
No.
They're usually built bigger.
They're 2 to 3 times bigger than that.
Yeah. And what's scary to me is how they said if they go to buy a home, it's only marginally bigger. Mm-hmm. Marginally. So where they're at is smaller than this actually. And they have a kid already.
Yep.
So it's like
I mean, I'm not the guy to say, especially just based off this, based off what I have right here, what to do or what not to do. But based off of this, there is no way in hell I would be looking to buy a house right now. Because I think of so many people that get so black and white in it. It's either I buy a house now or I never buy a house. I've saved the $400,000, Chris. I got to do something with it.
Yeah.
There are so many other things you can do with it. Right now, there's like money market accounts paying like 5%.
Yeah.
I'm not saying go and invest that $400,000 into the market super aggressively.
Yeah.
Especially if you want to buy a house in the near future. But right now might not be the right time because you can always wait.
Yeah.
There's always that patience. It doesn't have to be right now or anything.
Absolutely.
So many older people, especially the people who I'm assuming are telling you need to buy the house right now because you're throwing away money while we're renting. They always say rentals or housing always appreciates. Mm-hmm. And if you're in LA or you're in San Francisco, as I'm assuming you are based off of your prices, if you're in those two places, yes. During that time, housing markets did appreciate substantially. But during that same time, places like Detroit, which were in the same exact place, those houses have depreciated exponentially.
Yeah.
So it's all about location and all these other things. There's so many other factors to take into effect than can I afford the house right now? And I really, really need a house because I need a house. You have something that your parents and that your family members didn't have. You have $600,000 net worth.
Yeah.
You are on the path towards financial independence where your parents and other people might be working forever or they're just living off Social Security, but they have their house. You have true financial independence. You have the ability at 50% savings rate to, if one of you wants to even take a step back from work for some time, I'm not sure like where the breakdown is between you and your spouse on making the $155,000 or $255,000. But my guess is if one of you wanted to take a step back from working for a year or a few, just to stay home with the baby, you guys have that option.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys have that option available to you. But if you purchase the house and you make this commitment, that option will more than likely go away.
100%. My thing also is it's not like making the jump from where they are to where they want to be it's all in the mind. Mm-hmm. It's all in the opinion of society. It's like, oh, now I'm a homeowner. What feels different? Not much.
I get to tell people that
I get to tell people. Yeah, but were you telling people that you were a renter before? So it's like, why are you flaunting that? It's weird to me. It's like, if the difference in rent was, say, an extra $500 or $700 or $1,000 even, and they got twice the house, they went from 1,000 square foot because they said 1,200 is what they'd be going to, and what they have now is marginally, it's smaller, right? So we'll say 1,100, and they went to 2,200 or 2,400 or something like that. I'd be like, well, got a new baby on the way. It's only $500 more, and you're, getting equity, and you get more bedrooms, more space. Maybe they work from home. Like, yeah, it makes sense. Maybe it makes sense. But you're putting yourself in financial risk for status.
Yep.
For status, and also this whole plan is built on the fact that neither of you lose your job. Mm-hmm. Neither of you experience an economy shift. Neither of you, what if you have another kid? What if your parents need someone to look after them and they have to move in or something happens, or you get fired. It's just like there's not enough cushion or room for error if you do buy a home.
Yep.
You're praying that, I hope I don't break my knee or get in a car accident and puts me out for 6 months because you're skating on ice.
Yep.
Yeah. That's my take on it.
No, I think you're exactly right. And I think the other thing that where your family is coming from, and to their point, they think that the only way to make money is by buying a house because that's what worked for them. And it did work for them. And I like that it worked for them. Good for them. But you have something that's fundamentally different. Where most people, they need to buy a house because that house is a forced saving vehicle. Yeah. That is the only investment they have because other than that, if they got your $13,000 check, they're going to spend $13,000 on bullshit.
Yeah.
But you are not that person. You are the person that get a $13,000 check, spend $6,000 on the cost of living, and then put the other $6,500 into investments to grow your net worth. So you don't need a forced savings vehicle. You are the forced savings vehicle. You are the person that's taking control of your life and pursuing a path of, I'm assuming since you're listening to the Fly Guys, a path of financial independence. And I don't see how this house is going to help you achieve that, especially assuming that you buy this house, 1,200 square feet. That is not going to be your forever home.
No. No, I wouldn't think so.
Unless you want to tear the thing down in the studs and rebuild it.
And build a 2-story or something.
Build a 2-story.
Build a 2-story with a basement.
Or a 3-story. Like,
yeah, something. No. Yeah, because 1,100 square feet with a baby is tough.
1,100 square feet with me and my wife would be tough.
Dude, I'm in 1,000 square feet. I'm like, I could use another office. Yes. I could use another bedroom. You know, bigger kitchen. I can only imagine what they're going through with a baby.
I mean, I have 3 dogs, a cat, and me and my wife in this big ass house. And
yeah.
Like, I don't need any more house than this, but like, we could not move into 1,000 square feet.
No shot.
No shot.
No shot. It would almost, it's just too small. It's too small for that. But
yeah, I mean, there's just so much to think about here with this, but I see no reason to put yourself into that situation.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, so I mean, at the end of the day, your question was, is buying a home even worth it? I think that buying a home can be worth it one day.
Yeah.
But right now, is it worth it for you in this situation that you just brought out? Hell no.
Yeah, I agree with Chris 100%.
There's no way. Now, if this was a different place, different part of the country where someone's like, hey, a median household is
200,000, 300,000.
200, 300,000. Right now I'm paying $2,000 in rent. Do it.
Yeah.
Send it. Go for it. But that's not the situation you're in. But I'm sure there's other people out there, your friends, your family, all these people who bought houses, you know, years ago, back after 2008, after the housing market crash. I bought my house. Everything worked out great for me. Well, it did. They were in a different time, different situation.
Yes.
You are in a different time, different situation.
Yes. Yeah. You can't compare apples to oranges,
No.
especially when talking with your parents.
Yep.
Especially because it's a different world we're living in.
Yep. So is buying a house even worth it? Not right now.
Not right now for this specific person.
For this specific person. So
in other places of the country, absolutely. If in other situations, absolutely. But for this person, this couple, and this family, where they're living financially, no, it's not worth it.
No, I don't think so. But only you can make that determination. If you say like, Chris, I hear you, but I really want the house because it's going to make me so happy. I question if it's really going to make you happy, but you do you, boo-boo. And it sounds like you have enough doubt in your mind that you're looking for someone that's going to give you the real answer, which I think that most people aren't.
Yeah.
Because so many people think like, oh, when you rent, you are throwing away money. How it's the same, like, I think this, when I go on a vacation and I rent a car and I get that car and I get to drive around from place to place, I didn't go on a vacation somewhere, buy a freaking car so I can keep that car for a week. It's the same thing with rental. I'm paying money for a thing. I'm paying money to have a roof over my head. I am paying my rent in order to have the house. I'm paying my rent in order to have the optionality to leave. Yep. You know, we haven't even talked about geo arbitrage as an option for this person.
We never even mentioned it once.
Yep.
And that's definitely on the table. I mean, it again, but you almost need more information. Yeah. Because, you know, is their job, can they pick up and move to a different state? Can they pick up and move to a different area? Can they work from home? You know,
you need a lot more information on that, and that's where I would say like seek professional advice if you 100%. Really need it. Like you can always reach out to me, Chris at Monzon Wealth, if you need to. I mean, you clearly know how to get in touch with us. You already got in touch with us, so if you want more help, you can always reach out to me, and we can continue this conversation. Yeah. But geo arbitrage could be an option. The only thing I'm thinking is that's not an option right now because they're about to have a kid. Yeah. I'm assuming if they're in California, their family is also in California. Yeah. And their family is telling them you need to buy a house because we bought a house and look how much money our house is appreciated to. Yeah. But not thinking, and then they also think like, what, this $1.1 million house in the next 10 years is going to appreciate to $10 million?
Yeah.
Like,
no,
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. And one thing you got to think about is like, you don't want to be house poor.
No.
You don't want to be house poor. And making that move would essentially make you house poor.
I don't know, because it sounds like they're willing to get a house that's smaller than what they could, because he put, I can safely assume a price of $1.1 million.
Okay.
So I think they would still have a room, a buffer inside there. A little bit
buffer.
But they wouldn't be house poor, but it would still be like all you're doing is you're sacrificing $400,000, an additional $2,400 a month. You're getting 100 square feet more, and you get to call yourself a homeowner. That's all you're getting.
It's like if I brought this to you, I'd be like, I'll give you 100 more square feet of this house, $400,000, and you can tell people about it.
Yep, you can tell people that it's yours.
You'd be like,
and when things go wrong,
yeah,
you get to pay for it.
You get to pay for it. Yeah, exactly. Like, and guess what? Like all your friends are pressuring you to do it too.
Yep.
and they want you to do it because they did it and it was worked out great.
Or some of your friends haven't even done it and they're just talking shit. Because
Yeah. It's like,
they can't afford it, but they know you can. So how about you just go and screw yourself?
with that analogy, you know what to do.
Yeah. And think about this. Someone's mortgage payment is the least amount they're going to spend for their house a month. While another person's rent is the most they're going to spend for that house for that month. Because when you have a mortgage, you have to pay for that mortgage, you have to pay for insurance maybe, you have to pay for all these other things. But more importantly, if something goes wrong with that house, you are paying all of that.
Yeah, so it's more expensive to be the homeowner.
100%.
So much more expensive.
If you have a rental, I'm not paying for, maybe you pay for renter's insurance.
Yeah.
But you're not paying for like all this other insurance.
Yeah.
If something goes wrong, the roof leaks, AC goes out, guess what? One call the landlord.
ACs are expensive.
They pay for that.
ACs are like $8,000.
Yep.
Roofs are like $10,000.
Especially if you're going to be buying a house that's 1,200 square feet for $1.1 million, you are probably buying a 40, at least a 60-year-old house.
You think so?
Yep.
Yeah.
In California, LA, yeah, at least a 600 square, at least a 60-year-old house.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, yeah. And I mean, we could legit talk about this for an hour, 2 hours. We didn't even talk about, hey, can you make more money at your job? Can you do a side hustle? Can you negotiate a raise? Can you switch positions at work, or maybe like move to a different company to get more pay? Can the parents watch the kid so you don't have to put them in daycare? So you save a couple grand probably there. There's so many different aspects you can look at it to make it better. But what worries me is going from that 50% cushion that they're at now to
1,000.
A much tighter cushion.
Yeah, especially with the baby coming, all this stuff.
Especially with the baby, yeah. It's just.
Did they have the baby yet, or is the baby coming?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't remember.
Either or. I mean, if the baby's coming, they're preparing a room for him, I would hope. And if he's here, he's already in the room. So
yeah, so it's a lot, and there's so many different aspects. That's why I say like seeking out a professional could be really helpful to think through all these nuances, like Dominic just brought up. But based on what you said, we don't even need to go into that because I think this is pretty cut and dry.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So
well, I hope
that helps. Big hug to California from Arizona, neighbors.
Yeah, neighbors. Yeah.
Very different areas.
Very different
states,
areas. Yep.
Different ways of looking at the world. But I'm from Cali too, so it's cool, bro.
Yep.
All right, so thank you so much for writing in. I hope that was helpful. You can always reach out to Chris at Mons on Wealth, or reach out to me, reach out to Dom. We're always here to help you to try to walk through these nuances of life. But I think you have a pretty clear answer based on what we said. We typically don't come down hard on one side or the other because life is too nuanced. But I think we know on this one.
Yeah, absolutely. You wanna give options to both sides and see both ways, but this one's pretty cut and dry.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so as well.
And well, with that, should we move into win of the week?
I think we should move into win of the week. This is where we share our wins of the week. And
win of the week is where we share wins of the week.
I say it every week and I do the same thing. I'm like, let me explain win of the week real quick. I'm going to go first because mine is so much better than Chris's. It's not even fair.
It's unbelievable.
It's crazy. Buckle up. Ironically, my win of the week involves Chris, so I mean that's pretty cool. My win of the week is that I have now been going to a new gym, and it happens to be the same gym you're going to. So Chris, if you see an increase in muscle mass in the next couple months, you know why. It's probably because of him. But that, and I've been trying to fix my cardio. My cardio has been lacking a little bit, so a couple times a week I'm going to be doing 2-a-days, focusing more on cardio on those 2-a-days, really get the cardiovascular system back up and running. I want to be healthy. I want to do a Spartan race, really.
Oh, yeah?
I want to do a Spartan race.
I'm thinking about doing another one in like 6 or 9 months. Ooh. So you can run with me.
Oh, okay. I see you. Knock on wood. That would be freaking awesome.
Okay, yeah, so
I would love that. What is your win of the week?
Well, before we get into my win of the week, I just want to say congratulations. That's awesome. Just like finance, I love the analogy of combining finance and fitness because I just think they're so synonymous in being able to work things out. And just like with fitness, you're trying to build up. You didn't go directly from not working out at all to being able to, I'm going to work out every day lifting and do cardio. You first started cardio, now you're first started lifting, now you're doing cardio. Even when you were lifting, you went to machines, then you started doing free weights. Now we're going to start to work out and I'll kill you. We're going to have all of this fun stuff together. But just like that with finances, you're not just like going from like, in budget credit card debt to I'm financially independent.
Yeah.
You get a little bit better every day.
Absolutely.
And that's what it's all about, is that 1%.
That 1%. That's all we want. Is I just want to get a little bit better every day. I'm not looking for, I'm not looking to bench, 100 pounds this week and 200, 300 pounds next week. It's like, no, we'll go to 120, we'll go to 130, and we'll go to 140. And it's like, we'll get there. We'll get there slowly but surely.
We're going directionally accurate.
Exactly. And I love that. What is your win of the week, sir?
My win of the week is next week. I will be, or actually not even next week, in like 2 days, I will be leaving to Bora Bora for a week and a day. So the house everything is packed. The dog sitter is ready to come over. Dominic was looking at it. My suitcases out there. Yep. They're all set up inside of the loft, ready to go. Yep. So going to Bora Bora for a week, and my win of the week is that we are actually ahead on the podcast for a week. So
we won't miss any pods.
We're not going to miss any pods. Nothing's going to come up. And then next week, we're going to be able to tell you all about my fun trip and how it was amazing, how it didn't bankrupt me, and all these amazing things. Speaking of which, next week's podcast, when I get back, we're going to be recording, will all be about bankruptcy.
Perfect. Perfect. What a segue.
What a segue. Did it live.
I love that. Yeah, I'm excited for that one. Mm-hmm. Nobody really talks about bankruptcy.
Nope.
I mean, the most I know about it is from what I know from Monopoly. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much it.
And that you lose?
And that, my goal is to bankrupt the other person.
And then the game is over.
And then I just take your assets. And that's just not how that works.
Nope.
That's not Monopoly lied. So we're going to get real deep into bankruptcy next podcast and really understand what it is, mm-hmm. how it can affect you, positive and negative. And it's going to be an interesting pod. Also, I can't wait for a little Bora Bora recap.
I will Bora Bora recap pod next Friday feedback. Yeah. We'll talk all about it.
Absolutely. But till then, remember the fee for the show.
Fee for the show.
Almost forgot it.
If you found any value from today, and I hope you did, because over these 4 podcasts, really, we have talked all about credit card hacking, all of my tips and tricks that I have gained over the past decade of doing this. I've just dispelled to you for free. So please tell a friend about the Fi Guys. Let them know. Let everyone that you know. If you're sitting in line, listen to us in an ear. Or on a bus, just tell the person next to you, hey, have you heard of the Fi Guys? Yeah. And then immediately walk away, because they're probably going to think that you're crazy.
Yeah. Yep.
And show them our logo too.
Show them the logo. Them the logo. Tell a friend. Make sure to like. Make sure to subscribe. Put on the notification bell. All that fun stuff. And if you're here till the end, congratulations. That is amazing. You're really taking your next step towards financial freedom.
Love that.
And I love that too. Well, till then.
Till next week. Later.
Peace.
This video podcast is sponsored by Monzon Wealth. The content in this podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. We do not endorse specific products or services. Past performance does not guarantee future results. The opinions expressed are those of the host and guests, not the podcast sponsor.
It is crucial to consult with a qualified financial advisor or professional who can provide advice tailored to your specific needs before making any financial decisions, investments, or taking any other actions. If you are seeking specified help, you can reach out to Chris at monzonwealth.com.